What is poppin', Tarot with LYC? Well, what is poppin'? This is Tarot with LYC. If y'all know who LYC is, that's me, period, poo, all the way. On this portion of Tarot with LYC, we're going to be doing Major Arcana Cards 5 through 10. This is the Hierophant through the Wheel of Fortune. We're going to start with the Hierophant. So in this card, you see two pillars, you see a book, you see a man with a crown on it. It's the number 5. And then you see the two students looking up to the teacher or the Hierophant. The themes of this card include tradition, conformity, morality, and ethics. This card could mean that you need to listen to a teacher or a wise person in order to succeed. It could represent good advice, trust, success, love, or sympathy. It could also mean that you need to follow tradition and traditional values. The card is the number 5, which is a sign of change. You do the traditional things, you might find change comes into your life. The space above his head, all of this represents open knowledge. The crown represents spiritual authority. His staff, which is actually not in this card, but it is in the traditional cards. He has a staff, which is a sign of the Holy Trinity. And then the pillars are mercy and severity, which represent leadership. This card is ruled by this card is ruled by the element Earth, the zodiac Taurus, and the planet Venus. All right, so our next card is the Lover's card, which in the card you see a lot of nature, a lot of things growing. You see a man and a woman holding hands with a little heart, which was an apple above it. You see the snake coming down from the heavens. It kind of is like a Adam and Eve sort of moment here, like the snake with the apple and all of that. Because, you know, if you put the card in reverse, which we're not talking about the reversed meanings, but you put the card in reverse and now the snake is coming at the couple. It's a whole lot. We're going to talk about reversed in another video. But yeah, so you see a lot of elements of air. You see the clouds and the birds. And yeah, it's the card number 6. Some themes of this card include partnership, union, and duality. This card could mean that you are on the verge of new love, a union, or a marriage. It could hint at you being with your soulmate, so all you twin flame people out there, you know. This could mean that you're finna meet that person. You could be feeling passionate about someone or have physical attraction to someone. It could indicate something about your communication with like-minded people, or show that you're doing things that make you feel whole. It could show you're enlightened about the decisions you make. It can also show intimacy. This card depicts energy, clarity, and joy. And this is through the sun at the top. Harmony and balance through the number 6. Raphael, the angel of air, because of like all the air-like meanings. You have the birds and the clouds. It also shows the 12 zodiac signs on the tree down here. And it also is like a symbol of having nothing to hide because they are nude. I probably should blur his little pee-pee. This also has a lot to do with stability and inner consciousness, temptation, and like I said, the Garden of Eden. The zodiac signs for this card are Gemini, and the element is air, and the planet is Mercury. So our next card is the Chariot, and what you see is like an angel driving a chariot, literally, with 2 horses trying to go in 2 opposite directions. This is a card of direction. You see the stars and then the number 7 at the top. The themes of this card include direction, control, drive, and ambition. It can show progress, victory, success, and it tells of focus, ambition, and goals and willpower. It means triumph or overcoming obstacles and achieving success due to hard work. It means that you have immense strength and willpower to face any adversity. So then some of the meanings on the card. The number 7 is a meaning of inner growth. And then the curtains, which aren't on this card but are on the traditional card, they are celestial influence. I guess in place of the curtains, you could say like the stars around here are celestial influence. The armor that the angel is wearing is, and forgive me, I cannot pronounce this at all, but Urim, Thummim, protection, will, and authority. That's what it represents. The emblem on the front of the chariot right here represents inspiration. And the horses, which are actually Sphinx in the original card, they represent masculine and feminine energy. The element for this card is actually water, and the zodiac is Cancer. And then the planet that rules this card is the moon. So our next card is Strength. The themes of this card include bravery, compassion, focus, and inner strength. In the card, you see a woman taming a lion, and you see she's outside in nature and also very nude. Why is everybody nude in these cards? They'd be fine. But this card is about being strong and able to cope with tasks. You shouldn't be afraid of, this card is saying that you shouldn't be afraid of obstacles or rising difficulties because you have the strength to overcome them. In the original card, there's an infinity sign over the woman's head, and that represents her unlimited potential. And then her crown around her head, if you can see it, her crown around her head represents prominence and recognition. The clear sky represents clarity and energy and optimism. In the original card, she had on a white dress, which represents the purity of her spirit. The grass represents abundance and well-being, and the lion represents her passions and desires. The mountains behind her represent her stability, and the 8 represents authority and balance. And then in the original, she had a heart on her shirt, which represents love. It speaks of control, influence, compassion, energy, endurance, and success. It symbolizes taming your wild instincts of your desire in order to subject these unconscious and uncontrollable urges to your conscious will. Your selfish urges / instincts only hold power over you if you let them. So the element that goes with this card is fire, the zodiac is Leo, and the planet is the sun. So our second to last card is the Hermit. The themes of the Hermit card include contemplation, search for the truth, and inner guidance. The card number is 9, And in this card, you see a man standing on a cliff, the same cliff the fool was actually about to jump off of, if you remember. But you see him standing on a cliff with his lantern. His lantern is lighting up the night sky. You see a lot of air. You see water, and you see the stars, which, remember, kind of represents celestial guidance and protection. So this card points to needing time for yourself for calm inner reflection. This card represents gaining wisdom, independence, and recognition for being different. It shows that you are trying to break away from your everyday life and getting closer to your authentic self. If you receive this card, it is a sign that a pivotal point in your life is either happening or is about to happen. You may want to consider taking your life in a new direction after seeing this card. It also represents a desire to turn away from materialistic society and focus on your inner world. You can consider the Hermit to be a spiritual mentor here to help you raise your vibrations and enhance your consciousness. The zodiac that goes with this card is Virgo. The element is Earth, and the planet is Mercury. And on to our last and sixth card of the day, the Wheel of Fortune. In this card, you can see the devils at the bottom, and then a Sphinx god is at the top. Then you have a bull, a lion, an angel, and an eagle. And then this wheel is like an ever-turning wheel. It's a cycle, so you know it keeps going around, and at some point the evil is on top, and at some point good is on the bottom, and at some point evil is on the bottom and good is on the top. So in this orientation, we're seeing good. We're seeing how good is triumphing. We're seeing how good is triumphing evil in this card right here. When it's reversed, it's the other way around, but in this sense, right now, we're only talking about the good. So the themes of this card include change, cycles, inevitable fate, and luck. This card means good luck and happiness may be coming to you and your way. You might receive a pleasant surprise and an answer to all your questions. A good period in your life may have started or is about to start. This card could be speaking of an Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, or Taurus. The card depicts a wheel with a lion, a bull, an eagle, and an angel surrounding it, which we already talked about. And these are showing the zodiac. So this represents the Leo, that represents the Taurus, the Aquarius, and the or who's the angel? I want to say the eagle is the Scorpio, but the angel might be the Scorpio. These four zodiacs also represent the four evangelists in Christian traditions. The book that the creature is holding, which there isn't a book inside of this one, but inside of the regular cards, everybody is holding a book. The book that they're holding represents the book of Torah, which communicates wisdom and self-understanding. The element for this card is fire. There is no zodiac for this card, but it does show you some zodiacs, and the planet for it is Jupiter. All right, so thank you for tuning in to this Tarot with LYC, and I apologize about the late upload. It's been a little wild. Either there wasn't good lighting, or I wasn't off when there was good lighting, or I had to do something when I was off, so I didn't really have time to film it, but I had time today, so I figured I would go ahead and film it for you, and I will make sure I get this out as soon as possible. So, hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you for stopping by to this episode of Tarot with LYC. Have a good one, guys.